What's up, guys? I'm EJ. I'm joined by Shamari and Kendall, and of course, we're here talking about DC Fandome's Zack Snyder Justice League panel. This was obviously a panel that centered around Zack Snyder. He was kind of the host of the panel for his own movie. He had some guests, some people from the movie. He had some fans, which I thought was a really cool touch to have some of the fans that made this thing come to life with their social media campaign. Kind of, I don't think putting to bed, kind of throwing water on the idea that this was actually a very organized marketing campaign from Zack Snyder and DC anyway. But I thought that was really cool, and of course we got the first footage teaser trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League. I go to Sham first. You're a huge Zack Snyder fan. You really enjoyed Man of Steel. You liked a lot of his movies. It's obviously a big moment for you and a lot of Zack Snyder fans. What did you make of this panel and the footage you got to see? And the information that we now know, this is going to be a 4-part series on HBO Max, 1 hour each. So basically, 4-hour movie split into 4 parts.
I am extremely excited. Very happy for Zach that he is getting able to finally see his movie through to completion. I think that this is going to be much better than the movie that we got with the kind of jumbled up, mixed up Snyder, Whedon, Justice League. I think this is going to be much more unified. The footage that we saw already looks much better than what we got. It looks like Snyder's vision. You can just tell just looking at it. Like, this looks like Snyder's vision. The other one looked like a version of Snyder's vision, but this actually looks like Snyder's vision. So it will be interesting to see, how the heroes team up and how much of the story has changed. We didn't get much in terms of plot. We got more cameos, and we got more of Apocalypse coming to Earth, which we knew was going to happen. But we didn't get much in terms of actual story beats and dialogue and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. But regardless, I'm still extremely excited. Very happy for Zach. Very happy that this campaign ended up working out for the best. And I'm just very much looking forward to seeing the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like certainly from this footage, you definitely got. It's funny that Shamari mentioned the them feeling unified, because I thought it was interesting how the last shot or the last part of the trailer, Ben Affleck talks about they can't beat us when we're united, and I was like, wonder if that's a little dig at the Whedon cut, but so especially now Shamari putting that in there, definitely kind of shows you that some people
I did not make that leap. Is anyone else making that leap?
I don't know. It was something I thought when I watched the trailer, but no, I thought it was funny. But I do think it was like a dig at Whedon when he talks about the thing I'm most excited about with this movie is Ray Fisher's character, Cyborg. We're gonna get a real story with Cyborg. It's so exciting. Clearly, you're trying to say Cyborg got shafted.
He put Cyborg over in a way that seemed a little over the top.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to twist the knife in Joss Whedon's bat, which maybe it's deserved or not, but yeah, exactly. Go Cyborg. But I mean, this is definitely what I saw from that trailer was, first of all, I love that cover of the Hallelujah song works perfectly with the trailer, but what I saw from that trailer was the movie I expected to see when we had the initial marketing campaign for Justice League. Remember seeing all the different shots, and you're like, I can't wait for this movie. Then you go see the movie, and you're like, where was Cyborg playing football?
Yeah.
What happened to Iris West? I thought they casted Iris West. There's a lot of stuff that was empty. Now I feel like all that stuff that was empty, all stuff they kind of teased and showed, feels like it's going to be a complete movie now. So very excited to see that. And look, we got to see Darkseid, Ray Porter's Darkseid. Definitely should be interesting. How much he's in the movie, we don't know, but kind of an odd design, kind of an odd look, but I'm not gonna complain. It's Darkseid. We're getting Darkseid in the movie.
Yeah.
He doesn't look as bad as Grundy from Stargirl.
Doesn't look like Apocalypse.
Doesn't look like Apocalypse from X-Men. Apocalypse doesn't look like Red Tornado from Supergirl, so it can get a lot worse than what we thought.
Yeah, I thought that the notion, first of all, they said 4-part movie and 4 hours. That's I think that's a pretty good way to go about it. I think before we were talking about 6 parts. I thought that was a little too much. And obviously a 4 or 5 hour movie also sounded like way too much. So I think I don't know how they'll cut it, and if they'll have certain beats that make sense for it to be 4 parts. But I think that that's still the right way to go. Just the right amount of installments to make it not feel too much, but also feel manageable at the same time. Obviously, you said we got the Darkseid action shot. Finally, we've seen pictures of him, but this was him actually doing something. He was the same shot we've seen, but now you see him swinging that axe, and it was good to see. Again, we know Darkseid was supposed to be in this movie. I'm curious about how much more we'll see of him. We got to see Black Suit Superman. We got to see Barry and Iris, and we got to see a lot more of I thought the Flash. I thought he kind of stood out in this trailer. I know during the panel, Zack talked about if there was any character that he thought people would be kind of like surprised by, or would see things maybe they hadn't seen before from that character. He mentioned the Flash, and I was taking note of a lot of the different things that he had in this trailer. Obviously there was a scene with Iris West, but then there's a bunch of other scenes too. Some scenes where I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's in a different dimension or different timeline, but it seems like a lot's going to happen with the Flash in this movie too. And while Ezra Miller he got a lot of screen time in the last movie, and he was a lot of the comic relief. A lot of like his story and what makes him tick, and what he was doing outside of whatever we saw on camera, or with the team, was just not in the movie. So I'm curious to see what more do they have with the Flash, and where his story goes. I thought that was supposed to be a big part of Snyder's movie. Yeah, Kendall?
No, yeah, I was just gonna ask. Do you think that we'll see more of a connection to that scene that we had in Batman v Superman, where he like kind of the Flash is running out for the nightmare,
Yeah, I think we will, because that's what that scene kind of looked like to me. That it looked like it was some kind of allusion to that scene, which I'm like, we need that. That was very weird. Like I've criticized. Yeah, I didn't like how they did that. But in fairness to Zack, again, he didn't get to even expound on any of those scenes. So they were just threads that were left untouched. So now, it looks like in this little teaser we saw, there's a chance that we will get to see that. And I agree. I thought that the obviously Cyborg will have more in this movie, and I'm glad we're gonna see kind of the football stuff, 'cause that stuff is beautifully shot. Like like seeing that football stuff again in the snow, and I was just like, wow. I don't know how many times I've seen like Cyborg football scenes in like all iterations, and like never is it like a night football game, and it just looked really nice. And I'm just like, wow, I can't believe they didn't use any of this.
They didn't want to use it.
They didn't touch it. Like, it's kind of crazy.
The one thing you mentioned was that 4-hour 4-part thing, and it'll be interesting to see how they cut it. But most recently when we saw somebody do something like that was with Star Wars: The Clone Wars, with that last arc of Clone Wars, where it's basically a movie, but they cut it into 4 different episodes, and you can kind of tell after like the second episode, you're like, oh yeah, this is a movie, and the way they stop and they start exactly where it ends off. I expect this will be similar, where it'll stop at a moment where you're like, oh, it's getting kind of climactic, and it'll stop, and it'll just pick up right where you left off. So that's gonna be interesting. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a fun watch. It'll be interesting to see how they release it, whether it's week to week or it'll be in one. But
yeah,
I expect week to week, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, the Hateful Eight is on Netflix as well. They have it split up into parts because the movie's so long. I guess they have the Ultimate or whatever extended edition. So they split it up into a bunch of parts. I don't think they didn't release it in weeks. They just
Netflix is all the same. Yeah,
they just dropped it. So I'm expecting the same thing from this. I'm expecting them to just drop it. I don't think it would be good to.
It wouldn't make any sense.
I'd just be upset.
Especially for a movie we already seen.
Yeah,
for the most part. So I know how it ends.
yeah. I'd be like, come on, just release it. So I think that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I would I think they should just release it all, but I think there's a very good chance that they may do. I can see them doing maybe two parts. I can see them maybe do part one, part two, and then wait a week to see the next part. I don't know. I can't see them doing 4 weeks. That's a lot to drag on, and to me, it's particularly a lot to drag on for a project that, again,
It took
was
so much work,
well, it took so much work, but
and people
also
have been waiting
it
so long.
but also remember, like, they got rid of Zach, or whatever happened with Zach, partly because his work was not the most critically acclaimed, to put it nicely. So to me, if you're gonna, I don't know how it seems risky to try to like drag out that kind of thing for 4 weeks,
Yeah,
not knowing what the reaction is gonna be from
exactly.
the masses. We know his fans is he is a hardcore fan, and they ride or die for him, and the reason why this is happening. So they're gonna love it, and they're gonna flood the app, and they're gonna download HBO Max and pay whatever they gotta pay. But I think if this goes off the rails, similar to how BVS went off the rails for a lot of people and a lot of people's opinions very quickly. I don't know if you want to have a situation where people gotta wait another week to see part three. Wait another week to see part four. Like, I think they'd be better off just putting it all out and just letting the chips fall where they may, and allowing people the idea to say, hey, if you want to watch it as a 4 hour thing, you can. If not, then just watch it in installments. Or like I said, I think the most logical thing will be to do two weeks, two parts each. Just put out part one, part two, 1 week, and the next week I would do the same. Um, but I think HBO Max and obviously Snyder and DC, they all have a big conversation to be had. I'm curious. I'd certainly think after today, watching all the panels, that I don't think they're done with Zack Snyder. I think that he won't ever have the overall say that he had maybe in the beginning. But if this has a great turnaround and people like this and they want to continue the continuity, we all know, as you said earlier, as you said on another video, that Ben Affleck, is back in the fold on the Flash movie. I don't know if this is his complete end. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We'll see. But again, I've said it before. This is the most fascinating project, maybe in all of Hollywood, considering how it's being done and what's happened and all the drama around it. We'll see how it shakes out. But this was a good panel. Look forward to see what else we got from them. That'll do it for this video. Make sure you stay locked on to New Generation Media here on YouTube for more DC Fandome content, more superhero content overall, and of course we do sports stuff and Star Wars stuff as well. Also check out our podcast, New Generation Hero Talk. You can find that on the New Generation Podcast Network. That's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and TuneIn. I'm EJ for Kendall and Shamari. Take it easy, guys. Peace.